100,000 Missouri teachers. That's how many might have had their Social Security numbers exposed on a state website. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch pointed out the problem. Then the governor called them hackers, doubling down with threats of an investigation and a lawsuit. 5 on your side, Sarah Maki is following this story. So Sarah, let's start with the label hacking. Was this a case of hacking like the governor said?
Well, Ann, we took this issue to a cybersecurity expert. He said from everything that he's read and heard from the governor, absolutely not.
In a briefing Thursday morning, Governor Mike Parson placed blame on the St. Louis Post-Dispatch for identifying a problem on a state website.
They were acting against a state agency to compromise teachers' personal information in an attempt to embarrass the state and sell headlines.
He alleged that the paper was hacking state data.
It wasn't a hack. It was complete negligence.
Cybersecurity expert George Rosenthal says the state was audited back in 2015 and told to fix exactly this kind of situation. The paper found Social Security numbers embedded in code on the state's public-facing website. They only looked at 3 profiles, but believe it could be on every teacher's profile, as many as 100,000 pages.
This is serious. This is no joke.
An attorney for the Post-Dispatch said in a statement there was no breach of any firewall or security and certainly no malicious intent. In their article, the paper says they notified the state about the security breach, holding off on publication until the problem pages were removed. Rosenthal says the risk of having this information available is undeniable.
Absolutely. 100%. You could write a program or a bot that would go out and continually do a search for each person's name.
And unfortunately, all too common. Government websites, he says, are rarely redesigned from scratch, instead containing all kinds of old information. Parson says fixing the security issue will cost $50 million, a problem he blames partly on the paper.
This is not something that was done with ill intent. In fact, whomever found this actually should be rewarded instead of being called a hacker or even threatened a lawsuit.
Now, Rosenthal says that the government did make some changes after that 2015 audit, but clearly the problem persists. He says we won't know for quite some time if anybody else grabbed that information while it was out there. Sometimes it is years or months before information like this goes up for sale on the dark web. Now, if you are worried about your own security, there are some easy things you can do, like changing your passwords or updating all of your software. We do have a list of more precautions on our website. Just go find it under the As Seen on TV section.